and what does she see but a Penske truck parked across the street? A shirtless hunk with a couch in his hands and sunshine glistening off his washboard abs.
Well, Jenny, I didn't know that you meant "There Goes the Neighborhood" literally.
There goes the neighborhood. His real estate lady.
I released my debut album, "There Goes the Neighborhood," in July of 2019. It was one of the best times of my life. We were flying high. We had an amazing album release show at the City Winery in Nashville. Completely packed house, standing ovation. Everybody that I loved was there. It was just totally amazing. The songwriters came, performed with me. I mean, just more than I could ever ask for. And later that week we found out that the album had debuted at number 25 on Billboard's country album sales charts. It was just like anything you could possibly imagine. We were doing it, and I was so grateful, so excited. We had such amazing touring going on in 2019 as well. I got to play my biggest show that I've ever played. I opened for Brantley Gilbert in Marion, Illinois, just building up all of this momentum to go into 2020. And 2020 had a different idea. So as 2020 went on, instead of wallowing in self-pity forever, I was like, okay, we've got to have some ideas to keep moving this forward. We can't stall forever. You know, selfishly, I wasn't ready to give up this album, and I knew that there were so many people that still hadn't even heard of it. And so Dave and I came up with this idea to add 3 new songs to the album and push it out as almost kind of like a deluxe version, I guess you would call it. But really, for all the people who have never heard the album, there's plenty of music here for you to listen to and discover. And then for the people who have heard the album, there's going to be 3 new songs that you can discover that I'm very excited to share with you as well. So There Goes the Neighborhood is based in this imaginary world called Jennyville. And Jennyville is actually really funny because it was never supposed to be something that everybody actually knew about. It was actually only for me and my co-writers to go to mentally when we were writing. And it was actually Dave Brainerd, my producer slash fiance now. He was the one who actually suggested that we created this town, because as Dave and I were writing together, we started noticing that all of these different songs that we were writing had these characters that kept coming back and kept wanting more of their story to be told. And so he one day was like, well, what if we actually made a town and just called it Jennyville, and that's where all these characters lived and we write their stories? And I was like, Jennyville? Well, that's kind of presumptuous of me, isn't it? But I figured, well, you know, if it's just where we're gonna go in our heads, like, you know, we're a little psycho, okay, cool, we can have this weird creative thing that we write with. But, you know, throughout that process, we would start using it in everyday language. Like, we would be walking down the street and see somebody or hear a story or have something happen to us, and we would say, oh my God, that was so Jennyville. And I finally was like, well, you know, maybe this would be really fun to like let everybody in on and kind of teach them or show them about these characters and have them follow along on this journey that, you know, it could be a really fun thing to do. And so that's kind of where it all stemmed from. And if you listen to the whole album through, you can find tons of little Easter eggs in there. It's really fun to follow along and connect some dots. I'm really looking forward to you guys hearing these 3 new songs, as well as continuing to enjoy this album. And I'm also looking forward to getting some new music out in the future and seeing y'all back on the road very soon.
Sunshine glistening off his washboard.